what a year it's been, and what is your prognosis? Do you think we can continue on this record high path that we've been enjoying in the US?
Well, I think 2020 is going to be a lot tougher than 2019. Not a bad year. And in fact, if we could get a real trade deal with China, it could be a good year.
Some say that this is going to be a new normal, where we see trade wars continuing and trade tensions continuing. Are you feeling confident that we could actually see something being signed and, of course, stuck to by both sides?
I think there is some probability of that happening. By the way, if it does blow up and Trump re-threatens 25% tariffs, it's going to be a big sell-off on the market. Market is not expecting that. So that's a bad case scenario. I don't think it's going to happen at all, but that's, that's in the wings there that could. If we get a signed deal, I mean, we got the U.S., Canada, Mexico finally getting signed. We believe in the next few days getting passed. If we get some sort of signed deal with China, there'll always be some lingering aspects of, I think, the hope list. I think, we could see another 10% in the market, possibly,
exactly,
on the upside.
But, I mean, the reality is that when you have one thing kind of going right, then you see the Trump administration talking about new tariffs in different countries, even emerging markets being targets a lot of the time. I mean, how big of a risk is this going to be? I know the IMF is talking about $700 billion being wiped off global growth, but just how much of this bad news has really been priced in? Because we've got to think about it carefully. It seems that a lot of market participants saying, well, yeah, this is kind of like what we're expecting, but we actually haven't seen the numbers coming through as yet.
Well, China is the big part of any deal. Then listen, the market doesn't like any of these trade tariffs. Honestly, it likes to keep the supply chains and everything as it is, and the engine going as it is. It really doesn't like any of those. The question is Trump is, approaching election in 10, 11 months. The stock market has been his biggest positive point. He cannot at all tolerate that turning south on him. I think that would be a disaster for his reelection. So as time goes on, it seems to me less and less of a probability that we're going to see any big tariffs being placed on the international market.